So in today's segment, we are going to be talking about integers again. We talked about integers in the last segment and defined them and said that's all the numbers 0, 1, 2, 3, and -1, -2, -3. Now what we're going to do is we're going to compare them. So if you use your comparison symbols like greater than, less than. These are called inequalities because you're saying that something's not equal to something else. It's either bigger than it or smaller than it. So greater than or less than. And then of course this is equal. So if I have the number -8 and I want to say, is that bigger or is it smaller than -7? I can look at my number line. -8 is going to be here, let's say, and -7 is going to be here. -7 is closer to 0, so -7 is greater. So what's greater, -3 or -2? Well, here's -3 and here's -2. Which one's closer to 0? -2. So -2 is greater. What's greater, -1 or 5? So we have -1 and we would have 5 would be over here. When you're going in this direction, you can no longer say which is closer to 0. If one of them is negative and one of them is positive, the positive is always going to be greater. So what's bigger, -2 or -3? Well, we're on the negative side. So which one's closer to 0? -2. So -2 is greater than -3. And of course 5 and 7 are easy. You know that 5 is smaller than 7. So we're going to put it in like that. When you're asked to plot a point on the number line, let's say I ask you to plot -2. You just put a dot and color it in at -2.